Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday.
What's up, Caleb? I'll start. What led into the decision for you to switch over to wide receiver, and so far, how's it been going?
I think over winter workouts, Tank puts us through some really good workouts, and a lot of stuff was agility, quickness, and just stuff that makes you better on the football field. And that's something I've always cherished. Is I have that competitive edge, and I still have that athletic ability. I haven't let that go. So I mean, the coaches saw me going through there, and I mean, when you're a third year guy here who's only played in 4 games, like you got to do something to stand out when a new staff shows up. And so I was just working as hard as I can, going as hard as I can every rep. And then Coach B came up to me while we were stretching one day and was like, hey, like, can you go with the receivers today? And so I went with them, and we were just doing like simple, like running around cones and stuff, receiver stuff. And from now on, I guess I'm a receiver. So it's been going pretty well. I enjoy it. I've missed being able to run around, make some athletic plays, do some athletic things, but it's been good overall.
Do you think the fact that you played 4 sports in high school lends your ability to maybe do something like that, or had you ever thought about that up until this past spring?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys saw last year I played punt returner for 2 games. So, I mean, I've been doing that since my sophomore year. About midway through the season, I started doing that in practice. And then last year I got in there for 2 games. And I mean, it's just being an athlete. Like, I grew up playing 4 sports. I had opportunities to specialize and just stick to soccer or something like that. But I always wanted to be a team guy and do what I can to help my school. And now here I am kicking and playing wide receiver. I mean, that's a pretty cool story in my eyes.
Thanks, Caleb.
Hey, Caleb, good to see you. When you're talking about those workouts you guys are going through, and Coach Beal almost talked to us about it, Donald as well, excuse me. When you're going through those workouts, are you focused more on just trying to impress from a perspective of trying to win that starting kicker job, or were you really going into it thinking there could be some other role for me here?
No, honestly, neither. I just go into every workout thinking I need to win this rep. I need to win this rep. I need to win the next rep. And that's how I've been my whole life. I mean, I played basketball with Kendall from 7th grade on. And I mean, we pushed each other every practice. He's the fastest kid I've seen, and I'm trying to run next to him. I'm trying to beat him. And that's just how I've always been. So, I mean, coming here, it was no different with Coach Lou originally, and then now with Coach Tank. Whatever they put us in, I'm just trying to win. I'm not really thinking about the football aspect of it. It's just in my heart, I need to win, and I know that I have the ability to win. So for me not to win would be a lack of effort.
And Coach McDonald mentioned to us that, he came up to you and said, would you be interested? And then he asked you, if you could really run routes, catch the ball, things like that. And he mentioned you kind of filmed yourself running routes and things like that. Can you take us through what you did there that I guess what you think you did there that impressed him, and what that was like to do something like that to try and show off for a coach in that respect?
Yeah, I mean, one day around the facility, he was asking everybody saw, can Caleb catch? Can Caleb catch? And I was like, Coach, I'm an athlete. I can catch the ball. Like, that's not the issue. And so then he was like, all right, film it. I need to see it. We can't see it, so film it. And so I was like, okay. So I went in the indoor with Isaiah and Griffin more one night, and I had Griffin record a few routes that we talked about and just running, Isaiah throwing it to me catching it, like backyard stuff. I mean, we've been doing this our whole life. So like, that's not the hard part. The hard part is understanding the football portion of it. But like the catching part was pretty simple. Like I've been doing that forever. So I sent him that, and he was pretty happy about it. So, and we're on good terms right now.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.
Hey, Caleb, good to see you. There still is like a kicking battle going on here, and I know Lig's gone and Ben Miller is your new guy. What do we need to know about him? I mean, we've talked to him before, but what have your impressions been of him over these few weeks?
Yeah, Coach Miller is awesome. I mean, he puts us in situations to succeed. We've been mainly focusing on punt, so I haven't been too involved in that. So, I mean, we're kicking field goals every day. James will kick a certain amount. I'll kick a certain amount. And I mean, they're all being charted. The whole team's watching. Coach B's charting, yelling at us. Like, I mean, it's a good environment. I really like how things are being ran. And Coach Miller and Coach Fro, who's I think he's an analyst, they've been great. They've been great with the specialists. And I mean, I don't get to meet with them as often now because I'm going to receiver meetings. But I mean, the relationships I built with them before I moved to the receiver room, like, definitely helped me out.
And is this like for your time, we've seen you come in and you get taped, I'm assuming after you do some workouts early that, we're not there for, but like, is this 50-50? Are you more wide receiver than kicker at this point? How would you find the balance there?
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, I'll take you through my practice. We come out early and warm up for field goal. And then the first thing we have at practice is field goal. So, I mean, I kick my field goals in front of the team, make my field goals in front of the team. And then we go into the indoor because the field's taken. So we go into the indoor just as specialists. I get a few more kicks in. I get basically a second field goal period, just kicking from different spots. And then once that period is over, it happens every day. I shake up with all the specialists and I'm like, all right, guys, I'll see you at the end of practice. And then once I leave the indoor, I go get my ankles taped. And then once I step on that field with my ankles taped, I'm a receiver the rest of practice.
Can you walk me through the first time that you lined, maybe even with pads on Saturday? I know maybe the feeling changes. Like, I know like you're confident in yourself and you can do it, but was there a part of you that looked around like, whoa, this is not what I've been doing for 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I think that around the time that I went out there for my first rep, the specialists were coming back in from getting their work in. And I was like, dang, like it might be nice to go stand over there with them. It might be nice to go stand and watch the rest of practice and just get a few drills in. But no, it's been good. Like it's competing. Each rep is a competition. Each play is a competition. And that's what I love to do. That's what I've always loved to do. So it definitely was weird. I didn't expect myself to be a Big Ten receiver when I came here, but I mean, I'm all for it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Caleb. Everyone always kind of talks about the specialist practice experience as kind of isolated. Not like you just detailed seeing both sides of it, but what do you think of that characterization of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely specialized. Like we can't kick all day. We can't punt all day. So we'll have our periods in front of the team and then we'll go on the side. We're in the stadium now. There isn't much room for us to kick or punt. So we'll either go up to the grass field or go in the indoor, get kicks and punts in, do little drills that we need to get better on that will help our performance get better. But like, it's really all about just fine tuning your technique. You can't be kicking balls all day. Like you can't do that. It's not for your leg. So it's really just fine tuning your techniques, and it is specialized because you're on your own. You might have a coach with you here or there, but like the room that we have is awesome. Like everybody's driven to get better. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody pushes each other. Like, yeah, we have guys who have played a lot, but we got guys who want to play. Like I wasn't a fan sitting on the bench for 3 years, but like it is what it is. And I just have to push myself and push James to be the best that he can.
And then after about, like a few months with this new staff, what's just your biggest takeaway collectively from the staff?
It's different because I mean, when they first got here, I was like I said earlier, a 3-year guy who'd played in 4 games. And as Coach B said earlier in the week or whenever, I was a specialist. Like I had to do something to stand out. I didn't think anybody really knew me. And then going through winter workouts, the coaches saw me, whatever, and they liked me. Like they saw my effort, they saw my heart, my confidence, my leadership. Just having their support, like it's hard to trust somebody who you don't know. So we're building relationships with the coaches every day, every week, and I think that's just going to make us better throughout all of spring ball.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Caleb, as a kicker, you never get blown up in a game, or rarely. It's a big penalty. You're going to face that now. Are you looking forward to that? Are you worried about that? Is your family worried about that? Tell me how you feel about the first time you get heavy contact in the game.
Let's just say this. My mom would like me to win the kicking job.
Push you in.
But no, like my family talked about that last year when I was playing punt returner. Like they'd mess with me. Oh, you remember this guy got blown up? They'd send me clips. I'm like, it happens. It's part of the game. I mean, if I'm deciding to go out there, if the coaches want me out there, I'm going to go out there and try to make a play. If I get hit, I'll bounce right back. Like, I mean, it's just part of the game. I'm not saying that it's not in the back of my head, like, oh, like, you're not going to get hit. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to hurt, but I'll get used to it. I'll figure it out.
Who's a role model for you? There aren't a lot of kicker receiver combinations in the NFL or anywhere else. Is there somebody you've kind of thought of as like somebody you can kind of look to, or would you like to call somebody to talk about this kind of rare double?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's many people in my position. Like, I don't think there's anybody who's done what I've done, as in like playing multiple positions as a kicker. But I think, I mean, my whole life I've looked up to Grayson Allen. I was a huge Duke fan. And I mean, he just plays with so much heart. He plays with so much confidence. And I mean, he was an unbelievable leader. Yeah, he had his ups and downs, but he always bounced back. And I mean, that's just what I'm trying to bring heart, bring energy, bring confidence, and bring leadership to this team. And whatever role I'm put in to do that, whether it's kicker, whether it's punt returner, whether it's receiver, whether it's stand on the sidelines, I'm going to try to bring what I can to the team.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Caleb, hope you're well, man. I wanted to switch subjects a little bit and ignore the human behind me. But you know Julian Pearl as well as anyone, obviously. And a year ago at this time, he wasn't on a lot of radars as an impact player, but we've heard from Vidarian, Bart Miller, that have raved about him. What have you seen from him, especially during the last 6 months, to become a guy that they're talking about playing a big impact?
Yeah, I mean, you jumped the gun because I wanted to give him a shout out because I've seen everybody else is giving him a shout out, so I feel bad to not give him one. But I mean, Julian's just back to the old Julian. Like when we were in high school, he was a fun guy. He's laughing, he's joking, he's working hard. In our first few years here, I mean, it's hard to do that when you're not playing, when you're not where you need to be physically, mentally, and just on the football field. And I think last year when he got in, I think it was the Rutgers game, Rutgers to the rest of the season, he just saw that, like, I can play at the Big Ten level. Like, I'm good enough. Like, and it's given him confidence. And I mean, now he's walking around here at whatever weight he is. It's a lot more than when we were roommates freshman year. But I mean, he's just walking around carrying that weight well. And I mean, he's a great player. I don't know much about offensive line, but if they're saying good things about him, I assume he's doing good things.
Yeah. So like personally, have you seen a change in him during the last year? You're kind of talking about, like, obviously you struggle with confidence a little bit, but have you seen a big change in him?
I'd really just say, like, getting back to himself. Like I said earlier, like, it's hard to do that. And I had the same issue. It's hard to do that when you don't play. Like, you're a scholarship guy that's not playing. Like, there's guys above you. It's hard to be yourself. It's hard to walk around here with a lot of confidence, walk around here with swagger. Like, it's just hard to do that when you're not one of the guys playing. And I think now that he's seen he can play, like, he's proven his ability, I think he just walks around with that swagger, that confidence, and that's making him a better football player.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.
Got a quick follow-up for you, Caleb. Kind of an alternate version of a question I just asked you a bit ago, but you were so used to being so busy in high school with your four sports. I know you returned punts last year, like you mentioned before. Was there any part of you that ever considered, especially with the new staff coming in, just maybe applying for another job in addition to kicking duties, regardless of how the kicking job panned out?
Not really. Like, it wasn't really something that crossed my mind to play another position. Like, I know I've had success in the past in other sports, but I know a lot more. But I didn't really know football. Like, I didn't understand football. I didn't understand the route tree, like quarterback reads, receiver reading the defense. Like, I never really understood that. And I mean, I'm taking 19 credit hours this spring. And now that I've added wide receiver to that, it's like an extra 5 credit hour class. And I mean, I didn't plan to put this on myself, but I mean, it's tough. It's really hard. But I think Coach McDonald's doing a great job of setting me up for success and giving me the keys to be a great player, because he sees it in me. Coach B sees it in me. And now, I mean, I see it in me in other spots, but I've never thought of myself as a Big Ten receiver. So now with their, like, seeing them have confidence in me, it's just building my confidence every day. I think that answers your question, kind of.
Yeah, it does. Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.
Anything else, Caleb?
Thanks, Caleb.
Guys,
Thanks, Caleb.
appreciate you all.
Thank you, Caleb.
Yep. We'll see you guys.